Grab the popcorn, cue the organ, and let the top down. We're going to the movies. And tonight, we're exploring Bay Area movie experiences that go far beyond the modern multiplex. See how drive-ins are making a comeback. Visit our region's most exquisite film houses. Watch a movie in the park. And catch a flick while wining and dining. We've got the 101 on watching movies with a twist, next on Eye on the Bay.
Welcome to Eye on the Bay. Tonight, we're going to the movies. I'm Marla Tellez.
And I'm Brian Hackney. That's kind of an old-fashioned thing for a hip young thing like you to do. But in fact, going to the movies now involves doing some new things, like
going to beautifully restored movie houses like the one that we're at, the Castro Theater in San Francisco. You can also go to nice restaurants and watch a movie while you eat.
And the other new way to watch a movie
is the old way, the drive-in.
Since Charlie Chaplin graced the big screen in the early 1900s, motion pictures have come a long way.
And so have drive-ins.
Of course, drive-ins have had a very long history.
The first drive-in opened in Camden, New Jersey in 1933.
Now, back then, on those very first drive-in screens, people could have seen the terrifying,
the eighth wonder of the world!
Or the comedic, the Marx Brothers, and Duck Soup.
The country's taxes must be fixed, and I know what to do with it. If you think you're paying too much now, just wait till I get through with it.
Or science fiction. The Invisible Man had some pretty amazing special effects for 1933.
By 1948, there were an estimated 820 drive-ins across the country.
The peak year was 1958. There were more than 4,000 drive-ins across the U.S. and Canada.
In the Bay Area alone, there were more than 80. But today, there are just 2. What happened?
There were several factors. One of them was daylight savings time. That coming into play really makes movies start a little bit later, and so therefore it wasn't as convenient for families to come.
But maybe the biggest reason drive-ins have disappeared is because of this: prime real estate.
I mean, this vacant lot that these old drive-ins sit on is worth its weight in gold in a place like the Bay Area.
We're just off 880 in Oakland, and this abandoned drive-in shut down in 1994, and today
they use it as a flea market on the weekends, and that became the fate of almost every drive-in throughout the Bay Area.
We do believe there's a renaissance in drive-ins.
Tony Maniscalco works for West Wind, the group that's leading the drive to put drive-ins back on the map. As the world's largest drive-in operator, West Wind runs the Bay Area's sole surviving drive-ins, Capital 6 Drive-In in San Jose, and the recently reopened Solano Drive-In in Concord.
We decided to give it a shot as a drive-in again, and it's just been gangbusters ever since.
Originally opened in 1964, the Solano was closed in 2004 simply because it wasn't drawing the big crowds needed to survive. On the other hand, Capital 6 in San Jose has been successful since opening in 1971. Its 6 screens show double features every night. During the day, Thursday through Sunday, it's a public market. The Solano Drive-In is also a bargain shopper's paradise, but only on the weekends. Otherwise, 365 nights a year, it's an all-American classic drive-in.
It's an outing perfect for everybody, couples, teenagers, and especially families, because economically, it's a steal. A double feature costs adults $6.50. Kids 11 and under are free.
For us, all 3 of us, it costs us $6.50. Can't beat it.
And for me and Marla, who rolled in style, by the way, in my 64 MGB, it's a mere $13, plus a few more for dinner, which we picked up inside the old-fashioned snack bar. Now, I got to tell you the truth. How many times have you been to a drive-in movie, Marla?
0.
Never before has this woman been to a drive-in. Isn't this cool?
They're all gone, but they're coming back. Like many who venture to the drive-in, Brian and I begin our evening out outside the car. Post up some lawn chairs, bring some blankets from home. You got yourself an outdoor movie theater picnic.
But here's the thing. They don't like you to do this, but of course you can bring your own picnic. Want some?
Cheetos?
Yeah. Oh, they're
You better share.
the best.
You snuck them in.
And shushing the person next to you is something that you don't have to worry about at the drive-in because there's enough room to be noisy. Yet another advantage for those who have got to stay connected. If you don't, excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry, his cell phone's ringing. But that is a good thing about the drive-in is that your neighbors don't mind.
By the way, we're watching Surf's Up, a summer hit with kids.
It's penguins surfing, so it makes it really exciting because I haven't seen penguins surf before. It's an animated movie.
If you haven't been to the drive-in in a while, you're in for a treat. The movie quality has improved dramatically. Thanks to new technology, the picture is 7 times brighter. As for the audio,
Back in the day, you used to have to hang the speakers on the windows, right? But not anymore.
now all you have to do is turn up the volume on your radio.
Isn't that great? You get high-quality sound just by tuning into an FM station.
I can honestly say my first drive-in experience was a kick. Something I'll definitely do again. I do feel like I'm on a date, though.
He went up to this old shack,
Have some popcorn.
Thank you.
We'll be back in a minute.
Coming up next, inside the Bay Area's oldest and most exquisite classic theaters. Plus, where you can go for dinner and a movie under one roof.
Call Calphone Info for free brochures to help you get smarter about telephone services.
Welcome back to Eye on the Bay as we spend the evening at the movies. And we're not talking about movies at the multiplex. We've just told you about the revival of the drive-ins. Now, we head around the bay to step back in time to those beautiful classic movie houses that are still projecting.
You see photos of these places, and they were built to recreate the world that the moviegoers ordinarily only saw in the movies.
There once was a time when the movie theater was as much of the attraction as the movie itself. An era when San Francisco's Market Street was lit by marquees instead of lined with trees.
Once upon a time, everybody went to the movies. It was a pleasant experience, and for kids, it was a treat.
Times have changed since Jack Tillmany ran several Bay Area movie theaters in the 60s and 70s. Television, video rentals, the internet, and the rise of multiplexes have all contributed to the demise of classic movie theaters. Does it just break your heart, though, when you see theater after theater shut down, closing, boarded up?
Well, I'm used to it. I've been seeing it for 50 years.
From the 1920s to the 50s, the Bay Area boasted hundreds of movie houses. The cream of the crop are featured in Jack's book, Theaters of San Francisco.
The Fox is the top of the heap, 4,500 seats. The Alhambra on Polk Street was beautiful. It's a gym now.
While some have been converted to fitness centers, others, like the Hyatt Cinema in Burlingame, sit boarded up. Then there are the survivors.
The East Bay, the Paramount, is supreme.
Built in 1931, the Paramount in Oakland is a National Historic Landmark, known for its Art Deco interior design.
You go there and nobody's looking ahead. They're all looking around at this Art Deco masterpiece.
Today it hosts the symphony, concerts, live theater, and it features Hollywood's timeless classics. Quiet during the summer, the theater is in full swing September through June. Just over a mile away, the Grand Lake Theater is another oldie but goodie. It was built in 1926, and today it's one of the few theaters in the Bay Area where you'll find an organist who plays before the main shows. Kevin King has been playing his Wurlitzer organ at the Grand Lake for 10 years. Inside the theater's beautifully restored main auditorium, moviegoers enjoy mainstream flicks. For independent or foreign films, the place to be is Oakland's oldest operating theater, the Piedmont. When it opened in 1917, the price of admission was just 10 cents. Fast forward 90 years, and an adult ticket now costs $9.50. In Marin County, San Rafael's Rafael Film Center is a revived and restored Art Deco work of art. When it debuted its first films in 1918, it was called Orpheus. Today, its 3 screens show indies and classics. In Palo Alto, the Stanford Theater has been going strong for almost 85 years, thanks in part to David Packard, son of the founder of Hewlett-Packard. The Stanford features a tremendous schedule of classics starring everyone from Fred Astaire to Judy Garland. It's here you'll also enjoy the sounds of the mighty Wurlitzer. Well, this is a first for you, huh?
First time in the Victoria.
The Victoria in San Francisco's Mission District is the city's oldest operating theater, built in 1907.
So it survived all of its contemporaries that were bigger, better, grander. It started out as a vaudeville theater.
These days, the small venue offers live shows and independent films. The single-screen theater Jack recommends for an unforgettable movie-watching experience is San Francisco's cinematic crown jewel, the Castro. The Castro dates back to 1922. It's a hotspot for film festivals and independents. It houses the city's only regularly played theater organ. And like the other antique theaters, it's been restored and updated.
Now you get your comfy seats, your cup holders, so you don't want it 100% 1922. You wouldn't be able to deal with it.
Not even you?
No.
Really?
Not the seats, no.
So there may be something to be said for today's spacious modern movie theaters, but when it comes to stunning architecture, elegance, and opulence, nothing compares to yesterday's movie palaces.
Still to come, where you can go for dinner and a movie under one roof.
Welcome back. Eye on the Bay is at the movies. Here are 3 offbeat spots that prove that there's more to movie-going than the megaplex. Once a month, this San Francisco park becomes a giant outdoor theater where folks converge for fun and a film. Dolores Park Movie Night happens the second Thursday of every month, April through October. Admission is free. Just around the corner, you can enjoy seafood and cinema, or dessert and a drama, at Foreign Cinema Restaurant, where Chef John Park and company have redefined dinner and a movie.
Movies every night, 7 nights a week at dusk. So in the summertime, the movie doesn't start till 8:30, and in the winter, it starts around 6. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, we were on a 35 or a 16 millimeter projector. The other 4 nights of the week, it's either videotape or DVD.
Pair a foreign film with a fine feast.
Pork chop with a white bean and herbet chard ragu. Usually have 15 to 20 different kinds of oysters. We have old-fashioned drive-in speakers that you would normally put on your car. You put them on the table if you'd like, and there's a volume control. And you can adjust it. You can turn it off if you'd like.
Oh, come on, Stefan. Stop acting like a child.
It's a great date place. People like it because there's outdoors, candlelit, there's this great movie thing, there's, gives something to talk about in case the date goes south. It's a lot of fun.
In Oakland, the Parkway Theater does dinner and a movie too, but here, it's a funkier affair.
It's more of an experience. It's less sterile and less multiplex, There's personality.
The Parkway's got all the comforts of home. Pizza, couches, and something you can't get at the movies at the mall, a pint of suds.
We have a wide selection of wine and beer. We have pitchers of beer, pints of beer. We're 21 and over during the week, and then Saturday matinees are all ages, and Sundays all days are all ages, but the rest of the time it's 21 and over.
This menu goes beyond the typical concession stand.
Sandwiches, nachos, salads, appetizers, The nachos are really good, the pizzas are good.
Cozy creature comforts and low ticket prices make the Parkway the perfect cheap date.
It's only $6 for admission. There really isn't anything like this around here, so it's a unique experience. People know that, and people love it.
That actually seems like a lot of fun.
I'm craving some red vines.
I can taste it right now. Listen, if you want any more information on the theaters, the venues that we visited tonight, and see how to do it for yourself, log on to our website.
CBS5.com/Eye on the Bay.
In the meantime, she is
Marla Tellez, and he is
Brian Hackney. We appreciate you watching, and like those two other guys say all the time,
we'll see you at the movies.
good night.